Today we're going to talk about 5 things you should never have in your home when selling. The goal is, of course, to always present the home as attractively as possible, all things considered. Now, I've seen it all in my day, things you can't even imagine, like stepping in wet dog pee after a seller told us to take our shoes off at the door, to owners that are passed out on the couch, to homes that have junk piled everywhere, places with food and dishes strewn out all over the kitchen and in the sink, and even a seller of mine that left drugs out when I had a showing right on the center island. I've also been in houses that have massive mold problems in large parts of the house, and even one time I saw a house with a buyer that had giant holes in the floor where the subfloor and the flooring had completely rotted away, and that just really scratches the surface of some of the stuff I've seen. But let's go ahead and jump in and let's talk about 5 things that you never want to have in your home when selling. So the first one really is yourself and any pets that you have. Many sellers feel like if they stick around and they kind of talk with the buyer that they can help things along, but I've actually seen this backfire much more often than it actually helps. Many times sellers will say things to buyers that they don't even realize weakens their negotiating position, and other times they'll share thoughts or opinions that turn a buyer off completely. Like for instance, sellers will often say something conversationally to a buyer, such as, "Oh yeah, we're excited to get the home sold. We need to move to North Carolina to help our daughter take care of our grandson because she just got a job and she doesn't have anybody to take care of him. So we're excited. So as soon as we get this home sold, we're going to head out to North Carolina." And what the buyer is processing in their head is, "Oh, they're very motivated. They need to sell this house. Ding, ding." And there are all kinds of other scenarios where a buyer can smell blood in the water, and all of a sudden now you have a fierce negotiator on the other side against you, trying to prevent you from getting as much as you can for your home with as little hassle as possible. So it's almost always best to just give the buyers some time to look around, to relax in the home without any pressure, so they can ask their agents questions and really get a feel for the house without having to think about anything else or have any other conversations. And if you don't have anywhere to go, you can just drive up the street or maybe go for a short walk and just kind of pay attention. And once you see that the buyers and the agent have left, then you can go back to the house. Real quick, I just want to get this out of the way. If you need help with real estate anywhere in LA or North Orange County, or you need a great real estate agent, a referral anywhere else in the US, reach out to me. My contact information is down below. And if I can ask you a small favor, if you like these videos, please go ahead and hit the like button, go ahead and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. It really helps a lot, and I genuinely appreciate it. All right, let's dive back in. The next thing that you want to make sure you don't leave in your home when you're going to have showings when it's for sale or at open houses are valuables that can be stolen, such as jewelry, firearms, money, medications, etc. Now, it's not like this is a common thing where buyers come in and steal stuff in an open house or when they're doing a showing with their agent, but it definitely happens, and there's no reason to leave yourself exposed if you can prevent it. In this day and age, we are seeing a lot more crime, and so it is entirely possible that a buyer clicks online that they want to go and see a property, and so an agent calls them up and they set up a showing and they bring them out, and they could have more than one person there that's set up to distract the agent while they're doing the showing, while they're going through your drawers or looking through your stuff, trying to find valuables that you have that they can steal. The same thing can happen in an open house where there's multiple buyers. One is there to distract the agent, maybe break something in the kitchen, while the other ones are looking through the drawers or the desks or the closets upstairs. And so you always want to have valuables either securely locked away or, better yet, just completely removed from the house, so this is just a non-issue when you're selling your home. The next thing that you don't want to have in your home when selling is a lot of clutter or unnecessary furniture or even maybe excessive decor. Things like a lot of decor and knickknacks can really turn a buyer off and prevent them from really seeing themselves fitting into the space and envisioning themselves living there, either if they're there in person or if they're looking at pictures online. I've also been in houses where wall to wall, stacked to the ceiling, there's just junk everywhere. And this is another thing that's going to cause a buyer to think that the house and the rooms are much smaller than they are. And it's going to completely prevent them from thinking about how maybe their furniture or their design could fit into the home, so that way they'd be most comfortable. So if you're going to be selling your home, it's always best to get rid of as much as possible before you put it on the market, because in reality, you're probably going to be getting rid of a lot of it anyways, or it's going to move with you. So you can always get a storage unit, or you can give a lot of it away to Goodwill, or they even have these junk haulers. You call them up, they'll come out and they'll remove whatever you want. No problem. Another reason why it's so important to do this before you put the home on the market is because if you have too much stuff in the house, buyers may think that you're not going to be able to actually be moved out when escrow closes. And I actually had this happen. I had a 95-year-old seller client. He had tons and tons of stuff stored everywhere. And even though we got him a lease back after the close of escrow for a reasonable amount of time, he called me a couple days before he was supposed to hand over the keys. And he said, Mike, I haven't been able to get everything out of the house. What do I do? So I ended up calling in a junk removal company at the 11th hour to remove 2 full truckloads of stuff with just a couple days before he had to hand over the keys. And luckily, we were able to get it all done on time. But by doing this in advance, you save yourself a lot of hassle, a lot of heartache, and last-minute stress, and also you present the home much better to potential buyers. So it's a win-win. The next thing you want to remove is day-to-day items like paperwork that's lying around, dishes and food in the kitchen, stuff on the counters, up in the bathrooms, clothes that may be laying around, shoes that are laying around, and so on. The more of a clean slate that you're able to present to a buyer, the more likely it is that they're going to be able to see themselves living there and feel comfortable with what they're seeing when they look at the home. Also, the cleaner the better. I can't tell you the number of houses I've been into that were so disgusting and so gross that I just can't believe the sellers didn't realize, or their agents didn't tell them, how valuable it could be to simply spend a couple $100s and have a deep clean of the property before they put it on the market, so that way it looks spick and span. I mean, you got to imagine this is a huge turnoff for a potential buyer. They're probably thinking in their mind, if the seller keeps the house this dirty and unmaintained and they're letting us see it, what are the things that they're not maintaining and dealing with that we can't see, right? This is where a small amount of preparation and expense in advance can ultimately lead to you selling the home for a lot more money, a lot more quickly, and having a smooth and relaxed process. The last thing you don't want to have in your house when selling is personal information that's laying around the house, such as bank statements or brokerage statements that people commonly have either on top of a desk or a kitchen table, or oftentimes in drawers somewhere in the home. I've actually seen older people that keep their passwords right on top of their computer desk, or worse, they even just tape them onto their monitor. Sadly, there are a lot of fraudsters these days that are looking to take advantage of people, and you don't want to give them the opportunity if you can help it. If they can steal a bunch of your documents while they're in your home, or take pictures of them easily with their cell phone, they could use that information, things like account numbers, along with other easily identifiable information they can get online from various places to steal your money or access your computer. So be careful, make sure any personal information is out of access to anybody that's viewing the home or that has a few minutes to ruffle through drawers in order to protect yourself and your family. So those are 5 of the top things that you never want to have in your home when selling. Again, if I can help you with any real estate needs, please reach out to me. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.